ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bunnysays, and welcome back to another episode of Sherlock Holmes vs. Jack the Ripper. Let's see what we got going on here. I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm not exactly sure what I remember I was doing here. Well, this looks really gloomy with the fog here. This looks actually great. People wandering down the street, and it's cool that you could barely see anything. Okay, I think I do remember. Let me see, what were my notes? Really? What's this about here? Hold on. Baker Street, October 15 to 1888. I have discovered the existence of a murder preceding that of Buck's Row. It involves some striking similarities with those attributed to the Ripper. This murder took place in the killer's dwelling zone. There are major differences between the killing of this Martha Tabram and that of Polly Nichols. The first concerns the blows struck. In the case of Tabram, prior to Nichols, the killer repeatedly stabbed his victim's breast with blows of his knife after he had strangled her. I think that can be explained by the first-time feeling when the man gave in to his impulses without thinking. The second murder, that of Buck's Row, having taken place a few weeks later, the killer had time to fantasize and to decide what would please him to do during the event. The murder of Tabram, thus, can be placed far upstream from the evolution that we have noticed. The second difference has no interest because it results from a doctor's impression. According to him, 2 knives could have been used. We have seen in the past that a medical examiner can be gravely mistaken in the time of death, for example. That one single weapon used in a variety of ways could leave very different wounds. If there is, apart from journalists and certain members of the police, one professional category that we absolutely must not trust in this business, it is definitely the doctors. Thus, if we are agreed, let's pass to the next step. Tabram's murder took place in the zone. Okay, I just got lost now. Where is it? Okay. Okay. Thus, if we are agreed, let's pass to the next step. Tabram's murder took place in the zone where the murderer, whose cowardice is established, had the chance of an easy escape, thus near his home. Okay. Alright. Took place in the zone near his home. Okay. For this second murder, he wanted to get further away, in order that the police do not create a connection between the two cases. And for the other murders, seeing the inefficiency of this last one, he took different directions to kill his victims while remaining in the area. And inevitably without going further than is reasonable, always because of the matter of escape. The Mitre Square murder was committed under a certain amount of pressure because the killer knew himself to be wanted for acts committed a score of minutes earlier. There too can we assume that he must have done it within a certain area of safety. And what to say of an act committed after 2 murders? Okay. Note the proximity of the 3 locations where the killer must have had a sense of security. The location of the piece of apron in Golston Street has a central position. If we trace a zone around this point, using as a radius the distance to the murder furthest from the 2 others, we conclude that the killer certainly lives in the zone, and intersecting it with the one we had previously determined, we discover the water vault gate. Oh, alright, okay. I hope I didn't read that before. That was when I did the circles there, and okay. Yes, I remember this. Okay. No, I didn't actually understand this, but now we have something here. Okay. Here's something called Proceedings of Judgment. Okay, this is a court judgment. New court, Tuesday, April 6th, 1886, before Mr. Recorder, 419, Morris Phillips, 30, Moss Wolf, 16, and Jacob Levy, 30, stealing 14 pounds of meat of Hyman Sampson, the master of Phillips and Wolf. Blah, blah, blah. I received information from... Alright, this is city policeman, Samuel Bacon. I received information from my inspector on the 10th March at 6:15 a.m. I was watching the prosecutor's shop. Phillips came up to the door and knocked, got the answer, and went away. About 2 minutes afterwards, Levy came out at his shop door, which is next door. A post divides them. He knocked at Mr. Sampson's door and went back in at his own door. Came out again in a minute or two, unscrewed the bolt of his shutter bar, and then looked around and knocked at Mr. Sampson's door again. There being no answer, he went down the street. After 10 or 12 yards to the corner of Stony Lane, Phillips joined him. So he stole the package? Yeah. Stealing 14 pounds of meat of Hyman Sampson, the master of Phillips and Wolf here. Letter from a butcher. Sir, I want to let you know that if your club needs kosher meat when you have any special functions, want to let you know that if your club needed kosher meat when you have any special functions, I will be available to finish it for you. Okay, guaranteed by a compliant abattoir. Do not hesitate to call upon my services, Jacob Levy. Refused on the advice of Joseph Hyam Levy. Am I related? Okay. Refused the advice of Joseph Hyam Levy. Okay. And we got that's right. We got the address of Hyam Levy okay. In Aldgate. That's what we're doing. I'm still trying to figure out where I get this.
Hello, sir. What do you want?
Hello, Ma'am. I would like to speak with Mr. Levy. Do you know if he's in?
I am Mrs. Levy, his wife. He's not arrived yet.
Do you know when he'll be in?
Oh, no idea. You know, he works at the butcher's and helps at the slaughterhouse. It often happens that he doesn't come in until early morning and then leaves right away.
Well, listen, as soon as your husband Joseph returns, tell him that...
My husband isn't called Joseph.
You aren't the wife of Joseph Hyam Levy?
No, of course not. I'm the wife of Jacob Levy. Mr. Hyam Levy used to live here with his parents, but he moved.
Mommy, who's the man that you are talking to?
But this poor child has syphilis. He carries the mark on his face.
Leave us, children. Go back inside with your brothers and sisters.
Yes, Mother.
As I was saying, Mr. Hyam Levy doesn't live here. He works in a butcher's near Aldgate, but I don't know exactly where. But if you find him, he will surely live next door. Butchers always live near their work.
Could you possibly give him a message on my behalf?
I don't see him often, and Well, even though we know him, we aren't on friendly terms, you see?
Is he bothering you, Mommy?
No, Simon, not at all.
That's a handsome boy you have. It's strange that he has light hair.
He takes after his father. Strong, with light hair.
Wait, he sounds familiar to me. A man of about 50 years old, very big, at least 6 feet tall, and left-handed, correct?
You are mistaken yet again. My husband is only 32 years old, no taller than 5'3", and he's right-handed.
Obviously, there are many levies in the area. I will leave you, and I pray that you will excuse the disturbance. Perhaps we will have the pleasure of meeting again. Farewell, Ma'am.
Goodbye, sir.
So anything right there?
Daddy!
I must return to Baker Street. Let's go to Baker Street.
Oh, okay. Guess we're going to Baker Street. Didn't give us much choice there.
Well, Watson, not looking so good.
Whose fault is that, Holmes? If you hadn't shown me your masterpiece in clay.
Some actions have much larger repercussions than would be assumed at first glance. Listen, Watson, in a few minutes I will leave Baker Street in order to meet Jack the Ripper and put an end to his crimes. Beforehand, I want to go over all our discoveries to assure myself that everything is clear.
No.
Jack the Ripper? You know the identity of Jack the Ripper?
Without a shadow of a doubt, Watson, and I assure you that we are in possession of all the elements required to determine who Jack the Ripper is. Would you like to do this work with me?
Yeah.
Well, we are still missing certain information in order to finish this investigation, Watson.
Oh, okay. Let's see what we got here. This is going to be interesting. When a piece of C. Edo's white apron was cut out, it's the board now with the different pinups here, where we have to put down different clues. C. Edo's, Catherine Edo's nose was cut, eyelids were cut, cheeks were slashed to become thinner. Oh, is that supposed to be indicative of syphilis? Is that what it is? Okay. Syphilis deforms the patient's face. The Whitechapel killer left a message accusing the Jews in Goulston Street. That's where that was. Okay. Oh. Catherine Edo's piece of apron is found in Goulston Street near the message accusing the Jews, yeah. And M.J. Kelly was disfigured, okay. Which leads to, wait a minute, why these things, okay, get off. Okay, I can't move these at all, so they have to be in the right place. Now let's see. Syphilis deforms the face. Catherine Edo's nose, eyelids, and cheeks were cut. And Mary Kelly was disfigured. Okay. Jack the Ripper wanted to give his last victims the appearance of syphilis. Jack the Ripper wanted to rip the faces off his last victims. Jack the Ripper wanted to disfigure his last victims in order to cause a sensation. No, he wanted it to look like syphilis. That's what he was doing. And that leads to Jack the Ripper wants us to compare him to a terminal illness. Jack the Ripper seems like he suffers from syphilis. Jack the Ripper was confronted with syphilis. I say no. Has something to do with syphilis. Okay, now we have Catherine Edo's piece of apron was found on Goulston Street, and the Whitechapel killer left a message accusing the Jews in Goulston Street. Okay, so Jack the Ripper wants to accuse someone who lives in Goulston Street. Jack the Ripper has a score to settle with the Jewish community. Jack the Ripper wants to put the police on the wrong track. I'd say he has a score to settle. Yeah, that's correct. Oh wow. Oh, there's a whole... Oh my god, there's a whole thing of these. Whoa. Oh, okay. A. Chapman was holding that envelope in her hand. And C. Eddowes held a thimble in her hand. What does that lead to? Jack the Ripper offered a gift to each of his victims before killing them. Jack the Ripper diverted the attention of his victims before killing them. The victims knew each other and had things in common. I'd say, yep. He diverted their attention. Okay, wait a minute, hold on. What do we got here? Okay. Let's see. The Whitechapel Killer had the time to kill Lestrade and C. Eddowes. Mary Kelly had her throat slit the same way as the other victims. Okay. Okay, what do we have here? Jack the Ripper diverted the attention of his victims before killing them. Catherine Eddowes' murderer is unfailingly disorganized. A. Chapman's murderer, Annie Chapman, is unfailing and organized. Whereas Catherine Eddowes' murderer is unfailing and organized. Oh, okay. No, they're both unfailing and organized. Annie Chapman's murder took place in the premises. Annie Chapman was partially strangled, then her throat slit. Alright, let's see what we got here. The Whitechapel Killer proceeded in the same way. The Whitechapel Killer must have been accompanied. The Whitechapel Killer extorted his victims. Proceeded in the same way. Which leads us to... It's not the same man who killed P. Nichols and Annie Chapman, Polly Nichols. It's the same man who killed Polly Nichols and Annie Chapman. The Whitechapel Killer has an accomplice. It's the same man. And what do we have here? Oh, we have... Okay. Catherine Eddowes and Elizabeth Stride's murderer may be one and the same. The Whitechapel Killer had the time to kill Lestrade, Elizabeth Stride, and Catherine Eddowes. Okay. It's the same man who killed Elizabeth Stride and Catherine Eddowes. Jack the Ripper had an accomplice. It's not the same man who killed. It's the same man. Lestrade's killer is a strong man. Okay. Jack the Ripper possesses great physical force. Jack the Ripper is a corpulent man. Jack the Ripper is a tall man. He had, of course, great physical force. Now, Jack the Ripper possesses... Okay. Jack the Ripper had an accomplice. Jack the Ripper could not have committed these 5 murders. Jack the Ripper definitely killed Polly Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Kelly. I'd say yes. That's a big yes. Okay, now on the second page here, wow, there's 5 pages of this. Okay. And, oh, okay, these are just going there. Oh, wow, okay. Now, knowing all these clues here, the murderer cut open Polly Nichols' throat. Annie Chapman's killer used a weapon of great size. Annie Chapman's killer wanted to decapitate her. Annie Chapman's killer has a knowledge of anatomy. The knife blade used in Liz Stride's murder was thin. Catherine Eddowes' murderer knew anatomy. The murderer opened Catherine Eddowes' abdomen like that of an animal. Mary Kelly's murderer has a knowledge of anatomy. The same butcher's knife was used in the crimes against P. Nichols, A. Chapman, L. Stride, C. Eddowes, and M.J. Kelly. Comes out to the Whitechapel Killer is a scientist. The Whitechapel Killer possesses a large knife collection. The Whitechapel Killer was a butcher. He has a knowledge of anatomy, so he has to be a butcher. Well, according to this, anyway. There's no organ trafficking in London. I remember that. Let's see what we got here. No organ. Okay, let's go straight into this. Many of Mary Kelly's organs were detached. Her lungs were subject to incisions. Catherine Adams' liver and lungs underwent small incisions. Mary Kelly's heart was removed the same way as the other murders. Oh, okay, but nope. Okay. Which leads to the killer hesitated on the organs to remove. The killer wanted to verify the health of his victims. The killer kept going at his victims. Was the killer verifying the health? Yeah. He was checking to see if they had syphilis. Is that what he was doing? Maybe. Okay. Mary Kelly's heart was removed, Annie Chapman's uterus was removed, and Catherine Eddowes' kidneys and uterus removed. The victims each had a deformity. Jack the Ripper removed the victims' organs when he could. Jack the Ripper lost the organs of some of the victims when he examined them. Yep, Jack the Ripper removed the victims' organs when he could. Okay, next page, fourth page. The murderer stole A. Chapman's rings. The murderer searched A. Chapman. Oh, A. Chapman's rings were worthless. Nope, wrong. Here we go. The murderer searched A. Chapman. The murderer searched C. Eddowes. The murderer was looking for money or objects of value. The murderer was looking for something that the victim stole from him. Oh. The murderer was setting up a ritual around the bodies. No? He was looking for stuff of value? Really? I thought he was looking for something that was stolen from him. Okay, which leads to the Whitechapel Killer is poor. Catherine Eddowes' murderer is a fetishist. The Whitechapel Killer collects trophies. That means he's poor. Yeah, he is poor. Okay. The Whitechapel Killer is poor, yeah. Okay. Polly Nichols' murderer, right-handed or left-handed? Annie Chapman's killer must be right-handed. Elizabeth Stride's killer is right-handed. Catherine Eddowes' murderer is right-handed. The wounds on Catherine Eddowes' neck reveal that the murderer is right-handed. Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper is right-handed.
Perfect, Watson. Let's determine who Jack the Ripper is, Watson.
What? No way. Let's determine who Jack the Ripper is? Where was that?
Let's determine who Jack the Ripper is, Watson.
What are you doing here? What is going on here? Why can't I? Oh, what is? Okay. It's forcing me to go somewhere. Something going on here? What is going on? Okay. What is going on? This thing won't let me, Oh wow, what was that? It wouldn't let me, oh, what is going on here?
Thus, we have 5
Oh
suspects.
wow,
Let's
it was
add the
forcing me
elements
to
that
go over to
correspond
this
to
thing.
each of them.
Oh, okay. The final deduction. Determine who Jack the Ripper is. Really? Dr. Francis Tumblety, James Hardiman, Walter Sickert, Jacob Levy, and Abraham Solomnovich. I think we can say from that Hardiman was the cat dealer and the cat food seller. I think him and Solomnovich are out. So we have basically Tumblety, Sickert, and Jacob Levy. Okay, Jack the Ripper was confronted with syphilis. Yeah, Hardiman knew that. What is this? Were they all confronted with syphilis? Or what's going on? No, yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't think so. The Whitechapel Killer is poor, that's him. But the doctor isn't poor, Walter Sickert wasn't poor either. And no, he has a job too. Well, he's poor, but he has a job, doesn't he? Yeah, let's... Oh, do we have space here? We could... Oh, okay, yep. He's poor. Let's do that. Okay. Confronted with syphilis. The Whitechapel Killer was a butcher. Only one person's a butcher here. Or him. Oh wait, no, the cat guy actually is a butcher. Yeah, that's right. And neither... Was this guy a butcher? Yes, he was. Yeah, I didn't think so. He's not a butcher, was he? No. Okay. Okay, what do we got here? Jack the Ripper has a score to settle with the Jewish community. That has nothing to do with the doctor. Nothing to do with Hardiman. Nothing to do with Sickert, really. Jacob Levy. And Abraham... No, he doesn't have any score, does he? Really? Not really, does he? Oh, I guess so. Okay. And let's see what we got here. Oh, there's a bunch of these cards. Okay, well, alright. Okay, let's start at the very top here. Oh, okay, it goes around in a circle. Alright, the murderer is 5 foot 3 inches tall. Well, we know Jacob Levy is. Is Hardiman 5 foot 3? No, I didn't think so. I don't think anybody else is. Is anybody else 5 foot 3? Well, we know who it is now. That's it. We know who it is, Jacob Levy. Because nobody else is 5 foot 3. Murder has light-colored hair and a mustache. That leaves out Tumblety, Hardiman, Sickert. Only... Is that considered light-colored hair? I didn't think so. Murder has light-colored hair and a mustache. That's another Jacob Levy only. Jack the Ripper is right-handed. Well, we know they're all right-handed. Jack the Ripper was confronted with syphilis. Okay, all that stuff. Yeah. Jack the Ripper lives in the ward of Aldgate. Now, I don't know how many people live there. Doctor doesn't live there. And it is again Levy and Solomnovich, I think, are the only two, right? Oh, he doesn't. Okay, so that's another Jacob Levy only. Okay, well, we're looking at, so far, every single one fits Jacob Levy. Let's see what we got here. The murderer has workman's clothes. That's not the doctor. James Hardiman, isn't it? Yeah, he does. Walter Sickert, did he have work clothes? No, he did not. But Solomnovich did, didn't he? No. And there's another. Yep, Jacob Levy. Jack the Ripper possesses great physical force. That's another Jacob Levy. Let's see. Francis Tumblety. I know he did. I remember that. Yeah. And let's see. Okay, so let's start from here. Murder is 5-3. Jack the Ripper lives in one of Aldgate. The murderer has workman's clothes. Jack the Ripper possesses great physical force. Jack the Ripper has a score to settle with the Jewish community. The Whitechapel killer was or is a butcher. The Whitechapel killer is poor. Jack the Ripper was confronted with syphilis and is right-handed. Also has light-colored hair and a mustache. That's it. All him, Jacob Levy, is the only one with all these together. Well, we know now. Okay, don't I have all these on him? 5'3", 5'7", poor, Aldgate, butcher. 5'3", right-handed, afflicted with syphilis, poor, was a butcher, score to settle, great physical force, workman's clothes, lives in Aldgate. Yeah. And 5'3". That's him. So how do I pick him? Oh. He's the only one with all these things here. How do I pick him? How do I choose you, Pikachu? In this final deduction, you must determine who he is. The 5 principal suspects. Okay, you must assign the features that seem to correspond to the subjects by placing them under images. The suspects can have between 1 and 10 cards each. To move a card, click on it. Okay. Once positioned, the card changes color. A feature correctly placed is identified by green. Incorrect is placed by red. It's surrounded by red. To solve the puzzles, there should only be the corrected cards under the suspects, indicated by a green color. You must remove or replace the cards in red. Once all cards are assigned to the correct suspects, that is to say, once they are all green, you must place the face of Jack the Ripper on the mannequin on the left. Oh. How do I place the face? Where's the mannequin? Oh, here it is.
Thus, we have 5 suspects. Let's add the element.
Oh, I have to... Okay. Close it. Turn to the mannequin. Where's the mannequin? How do I grab the face?
Thus, we have 5 suspects. Let's add the elements that correspond to each of them.
Okay, how do I do that? Okay, did I miss some of these? Here, hold on. There must be something I missed. Wait a minute, let me... Okay, let me see here. Let's start with the right-handed. Okay. What am I doing with this one? Oh, I already have that there. Okay. Okay, there we go. I missed putting the Whitechapel Killer's paw on James Hardiman. I'm sure I did that. But, okay. Jacob Levy. I don't remember who he is.
And there you go, Watson. Jacob Levy, Jack the Ripper.
Fantastic, Holmes. And terrifying. But some aspects of this case are still unclear, at least for me.
For example, Watson?
Why does the man only kill prostitutes?
The man kills prostitutes because he blames them for the misery of his life. He must have frequented them assiduously, and during these nocturnal visits, he contracted syphilis, which he passed on to his spouse, and via her, at least one of his children. He is an angry man in despair following a mistake that cannot be fixed.
Yeah.
Why does he only kill such miserable prostitutes?
He never had the means to afford prostitutes of higher standing than Nichols, Chapman, and the others. At one point in his life, he was forced to steal to make ends meet. This indiscretion cost him dearly. He was imprisoned and exiled from his community. He had frequented low-class prostitutes. Thus, it was they who infected him, and they who must pay.
Oh, that's why he
But
stole
why
the
did
meat.
he remove
Okay.
the organs?
To take vengeance on his own community, which rejected him and had more success than he. He is a man who bore the burden of a sinister reputation, that of a thief and a madman, because of his internment. So he took his vengeance in the most cowardly and horrific manner imaginable. He rubbed his knife on the uterus of a sick prostitute before using it. He passed Edow's kidney off as a veal kidney.
Why did he disfigure the faces of the last 2 victims?
Revenge yet again, Watson. This is what you did to my child. You will suffer the same fate.
And the piece of apron and the message at Goulston Street?
The only reason to have placed the piece of apron incriminating the message and attracting attention towards himself is that the people that Levy holds responsible for his arrest live in this building. The butcher's where he committed the theft is found in Goulston Street, and the majority of the butchers who denounced him surely live close to their workplaces.
Oh. Wow,
But finally,
okay.
Holmes, why didn't his wife or anyone else notice anything?
His wife has many children and must be very busy. The man is a butcher, which must facilitate things when one is questioned by the police in the street and must justify the bloodstains on oneself. Furthermore, butchers often work during the night, as the meat must be sold fresh each morning. His nocturnal absences were easily justifiable. Finally, he works in the butchers or slaughterhouses. Nothing could be more simple than slipping a kidney in here and using a knife soiled with human blood there.
Oh.
This story is frightful, Holmes.
Indeed, Watson. Lies, infidelity, venereal disease, murder, mutilation, and finally cannibalism. A complete anthology of what humans at their most vile are capable.
Let's go at once to Whitechapel and put this madman where he can do no more harm, Holmes.
Let's, Watson.
Oh my god, are we gonna actually capture him? Oh wow, okay. Middlesex Street, one of Aldgate. Here we go. Number 36. Oh, look, looks like the police are already here.
I do believe we are not alone. I hope these men won't prevent us from passing.
Me? No. But you, yes, Watson. Your journey ends here tonight.
Pardon?
You're sometimes a little hot-headed. Moreover, Mr. Solomonovich has a few things to tell you. I won't be long.
You can come in, Mr. Holmes. He's waiting for you inside. Everything was organized according to your instructions. I don't know how to thank you.
Later. Dr. Watson is awaiting an explanation from you.
Well, I'm gonna have seizure with all these flashes. Oh my god.
Hello, Watson.
Holmes, have you the slightest idea what you are doing?
I think so, Watson.
Leaving this bloodthirsty pervert at liberty and hiding his existence from the London police? What folly!
Certainly, the police will never find their man, but with so many men deployed, this affair will indirectly have a benevolent effect on the crime in the vicinity.
But Holmes, wait! Justice hasn't been served, and we are accomplices to the fact.
Justice? But I don't serve justice, Watson. I serve truth. And, incidentally, I serve my country, and I don't think that I have ever served it better than today. Imagine if after months of terror and a murder as abominable as that of Miller's Court, we deliver to the English people a man of the Jewish faith, a journeyman and head of family as the guilty party. A man who forced members of his own people to eat human flesh. All of this contained tension would have exploded in a myriad of anti-Semitic acts which would have thrown Whitechapel into a rage of fire and blood. And this man's family, who are completely innocent and have suffered more than their lot, would have been the first in the line of sight. Should we condemn an entire people to shame and promise them 1,000 wounds because one of their members committed an unmentionable crime? Neither I nor you have the right to do so. Jacob Levy, Jack the Ripper, is now in the hands of his own people. I have complete faith in Mr. Solomovich and the members of his community who, I remind you, courageously helped us. They took great risks and acted with the most salutary discretion. And, oh yes, it is understood that you cannot chronicle this investigation. It would be best to invent a story that takes us far from London during the sombre period, in pursuit of, let's see, something challenging. A ghostly dog that glows in the night.
Don't be ridiculous, Holmes. But what will happen now? The police will endure a serious setback and a real loss of credibility. And this man?
Well, a few months after the murders have ceased, the police commission, finding themselves at an impasse, will come up with a story to tell, and everyone will vow that they know the secret identity of the killer without having the right to reveal it. As for Jacob Levy, Jack the Ripper, he will be imprisoned by his own people. He will pace like a lion in its cage until the end of his days, haunted by his crimes and his insatiable vengeance, until finally the disease which drove him to kill those poor women will finish its work and make him its final victim.
Okay, they are nope. Okay, Jack the Ripper's shadow rooms forever in Whitechapel's alleys. Okay, apparently Jacob Levy died at the age of 65, and then the police closed the... Wow, they actually, they went there, and they actually chose someone, and they did say they chose Jacob Levy, and they did give an explanation at the end, which was quite reasonable, I thought. Here we are at the end here now. Credits rolling. You know, I thought that was right. That was very right. He didn't want to have, or at least their explanation for why they wouldn't say who he would be and stuff. Well, there you have it. That's Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. I had no idea it was going to end like that. That really surprised me. I wasn't thinking of Jacob Levy. I was thinking of the other guy that, well, I know they didn't do that. Well, we know the doctor wasn't. That's what threw me off. I thought they were going for the doctor, Tumblety, him, for a while. Till it said he wasn't. Then I was like, okay. And I was thinking of the other guy, Sickard. Wow, okay, that, oh wow, okay, this is going on very long, but, extra long, but, hey, so what, this is the end. I didn't think it was coming to an end that quickly like that, otherwise I would have done this before, and put it up. It really surprised me, okay. and came to a conclusion. It's sort of, it was pretty satisfying to me. I'm okay with that. That's funny, going back over some stuff about Jack the Ripper. They included a lot more than I really expected there to be in the game. A lot more stuff, the names of the streets, the places, the photographs. You know, a lot more facts from the actual crime that I really expected to be there. And it's funny seeing them, how they seeing that they made they made the actual places, like Burner Street and all that type of thing. I was like, oh wow, they actually did that. Name the streets and everything like that. And had the names of the shops and the names, like the Jewish League's Gentleman Club, that thing there, and I was like, oh, okay. I would like to thank Gary Gygax, who missed his last saving throw. RIP. Oh, it's a bit of paper. Oh. Casebook Jack the Ripper. Yeah, that's funny. I was thinking about buying that. Casebook.org. The views in this game are none of those of the developer. Publisher, manufacturer is based on theory, not fact. Wow, very interesting. Okay. That wasn't bad. I like that. That was pretty good. So, I guess I'll end the game here, and maybe I'll have some final thoughts on it later, but looking back on it. But, yeah, that was okay. Again, I'm pretty satisfied with these games, these Sherlock Holmes games. This one was a little longer than I thought it would be, but maybe because I was a little more confused about it, because there was a lot of facts to go on, But I love the system I love the Sherlock Holmes system where you pull up the board and put down the facts and stuff like that. I really like that. So, anyway, let's see what that's it. Okay. Well, okay. Thank you for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. I really enjoyed that, and I guess I think I'll continue on with one of the Choose Your Own Adventure books, and then on to something else for a little bit. In the meantime, thank you for joining me, and I hope that was satisfying to you. The end there, it was for me. But in the meantime, goodbye, good luck, and have a nice evening, or day, or morning, or night. And goodbye for now.